number 1. You guys are in charge of this first learning target, which is multiplying monomials with exponents. So your job today is going to be to explain how to simplify these types of problems to your group members. So make sure if you have any questions before we share as a group, make sure you let me know. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want are these key steps to simplifying monomials that are being multiplied. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure your terms have the same base. So for example, I have x to the second times x to the third. X is my base. Those have the same base, so I can simplify this expression right here. So once you have the same base, then you're going to add the exponents. So for example, if I have x squared times x to the third, that would give me x to the fifth. I'm just simplifying by adding those exponents. Then the third step is if you have any coefficients. So if I went back here and I had a big coefficient out here of a 2 and a 4, those are numbers outside the bases, then I could multiply those coefficients and get 8. Okay? So these are your steps we're going to follow. These are the examples you're going to have to go through with your group. So make sure you take some good notes here. So first thing I'm going to do, look for my bases. I have an x and an x, which means I have the same base. So I'm going to write down my base. And to simplify this, I'm just going to add those exponents, so I'd get x to the sixth. It's nice and simplified. Now look at the second problem. My bases are a little different in this one. I have some x's that are alike, and then I have a y. So I'm going to simplify the ones that have the same base, so that would be x. And even though you can't see it, this would be x to the first power. So if I add those exponents, I would get x to the seventh. And then anything that isn't alike, I'm just going to bring down in my answer. So that would be my final answer. Alright, down here is a little different. I don't have variables for my bases anymore. I have an actual number. So that's my base. I'm going to keep that the same. And then I'm going to add the exponent. So a common mistake is people think I'm supposed to multiply those 5's, but you don't. That's your base that you're going to keep the same. Now we could plug this into our calculator and simplify it, but this is all I'm asking for today. Just 5 to the 10th. That's all I need here. Alright, again, my base is a number this time, so I'm just going to keep that base the same. Don't do anything to those numbers. And then to simplify it, I'm going to add those exponents, so I get 3 to the 6th power. So again, you can plug that into your calculator, but I'm not asking for that today. I just want to see that you can simplify. These two are a little bit more challenging. They have a couple steps here. So first of all, look for your bases. So my base right now is an x. That's what's the same in both of them. So to simplify those exponents, I'm going to have x to the 7th power. But then I have these coefficients on the outside. So remember from our steps up here, if you have coefficients, you're going to multiply those coefficients. Okay? Last one, just like it, my bases are a's. So I'm going to write down my base. I'm going to add those exponents, so I'd get a to the 13th power. And then I have coefficients that I have to deal with. So I'm just going to multiply those coefficients together. So I get 21 a to the 13th. Alright, so get ready to share those with your group. If you have any questions before we get together as a group, make sure you let